Here's our next car. This is a first for me, a 1975 Triumph 2.5 TC. It's got a pair of reconditioned carburetors on it. I'd done the head gasket on this one a couple of years ago, but the customer's just having some troubles with it. Come up to an intersection on a hot day and it will stall out. I actually had the analyzer on this the other day, had it idling when it was cold. It was sitting at 12.5 AFR when it was cold, but as it got hotter, it got richer. So I've got a couple of things to do and check on it, but obviously that's just a sign that the idle mixture is too rich when it's cold. Well, actually just in general, because obviously as the engine temperature heats up, the fuel atomizes just a little bit better, and obviously it just gets richer. So we'll go through this one, get it all dialed in, get it all sorted out, and hopefully we can get the customer to give us a wee bit of a review right at the end, but we'll see how we go at that point. Anyway, let's get into it. So yeah, what I was just doing there was making sure that when the choke's operated, both the jet tubes go down at the same rate, and obviously they open the throttle linkages at the same amount as well. Obviously that's something that will get adjusted again after the tune, but that's just something that I like to try and dial in first. So now, since I've got the jet tubes at an equal height, I just set them to an equal height just as a base point. So now what I'll do is I'll go over here and make sure that these are going to full at the same rate, and basically equalise these. I'll measure the cushion heights, which I'm fairly sure at the moment they're very close. It will be checking to make sure the springs are actually equal rates, making sure the dampers are doing the same thing as well, so that these carbs can actually act as one unit opposed to two carbs that are fighting each other. Alright, so as you can see, I've got the dashpot assemblies back on. I've got the engine sitting here idling. I haven't checked what the AFR is doing. It's just still on warm-up choke. So yeah, basically what I've gone through and done is make sure the dashpot and piston are equal both left and right. I've made sure that the springs are equal left and right. I've even made sure that the dampers are doing the exact same thing left and right. So now what I can actually go do is balance the airflow. That way I can actually set the idle mixture and then get over to the ignition system. Once I'm happy with this, then I can do that. Once I'm happy with that, I'll come back and correct the mixtures. So anyway, we're back into it now. I've balanced the carbs, the airflow's now matched. I'm really happy with that. Now, I can't exactly drill this airbox, although it's incredibly restrictive. So without the airbox on it, I had set it to about 14.5 AFR, which is a little bit leaner than what this ignition system can handle. But it was mainly just to see what the engine was going to be happy with. But anyway, with the airbox on, it went straight down to about 12.2, and that's with this air ducting off. So unfortunately, because it's, you know, the air filters in here, hello, I've actually had to somewhat lean off the idle mixture with all of the setup on it. So it is going to reduce the power a little bit, which is, you know, a little bit frustrating. It is what it is. But anyway, as I was going to say, I have gone through the ignition timing as well, sitting at a very healthy 48 degrees with the vacuum advance connected, and that's at 3,500 RPM. About 29 all in, so I was really happy with that. That's mechanical. So yeah, anyway, I'm again happy with that side of it. Moving back to the carbs, so basically just sorting out the mixture. Let's see if I can zoom in a little bit. It's probably as much as I can. I do apologise. So that's where we've got it sitting at right at the moment. And if I actually took it up through the rev range, you'd see that it's just a little bit lean. It does actually go into the 15s. So I will modify these needles just a smidge, just to get it into the mid 14s at least. Then obviously comes the road test. Make sure that, you know, it's not going too rich under acceleration and all the rest. So at the moment, I've still got the original BDB needles in there, which obviously need some modifications. It's got brand new yellow springs that are matched, and so far I've got 10 weight oil in the dash pots. That's possibly due to change, but we'll see how we go. Right, so I've gone through and I've modified the needles. Obviously I've still got to go through the dampers and sort those out, but just for the meantime, you can see what the mixture is doing. Now I'll just zoom that in as far as it'll go. I do apologise, and it will get loud in 3, 2, 1. Actually what I'll do is I'll go set the camera up so I don't have to hold that at the same time. How about that? That makes more sense, doesn't it? Hopefully you can see that. But anyway, so yeah, ignore the initial reading because that's just going to go rich anyway until I get the dampers sorted out. Sorry, I just gave that a blip there, that's why we went back to 11s. I'll just give that a quick... Let that settle back down. That at the moment is very close, and I'm just about happy with it enough to take it for a test drive. Actually what I'll do is if I close that airbox, let's just see what that does to the overall mixtures. Let's just try that again, just for the sake of it. I don't think it'll change it too much, but you never know. Actually, that's quite a bit closer. I'm even happier with that. The idle mixture I'm marginal with, because obviously it's not really where I want it, and as the temperature rises in the manifold, it will get that little bit richer. So anyway, I'll just walk around and grab the camera again, just so you guys aren't over there staring at that. Oh, I'll zoom that out. No one needs to see my ugly mug that close. So yeah. So yeah, basically a few tweaks here and there, and just sort out the linkages. Nothing really major on this tune, I'd say, thankfully, but it's kind of taking the fun out of it at the same time. I'm happy with that. What I'll do is I'll just monitor it as the temperature rises, because at the moment it is there. And the problem we have is as soon as it gets to that second line. So what I'll do is I'll just leave the car sitting here idling for a little bit. I will turn the heater off. Who doesn't love a Mark II? I used to own one of these. Still wish I had it. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I'll just leave this sitting here idling, just for a meantime, and see if that fuel mixture richens up as it sits. So as long as it kind of bobs back to 13.8, which, I mean, you probably can't see it from here, but it's going 14 down to 13.4. But I have a sneaking suspicion the fuel pump is putting out a little bit too much pressure. So that could be what that is. Going, rich, lean, rich, lean. The good news is it's not going super rich, but it's not, and it's not going super lean, but at the same time it's essentially wasting its own fuel in doing that. So anyway, I'll just let this sit here for a while and we'll come back to it later. Right, so I'll just show you what it's doing now. Temperature gauge, right near that 2/3 line, and that's where it was starting to give issues originally, because it was going so rich at idle. It was, going off my pre-measurements, it was going a lot richer than that. Before I had adjusted it the first time, I got to about 11.5 before I decided to lean it off. But yeah, we're sitting nice and pretty there. Again, it's a little bit richer than what I'd hope. But realistically, on a really hot day for Canterbury, I'm fine with that. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's a lot better than what it was, and that's the main thing. And realistically, it won't be running at these temperatures anyway. If it was running at these temperatures, if it was driving at these temperatures, I'd be a wee bit more concerned. But yeah, I'll put the tailpipe adapter in it, and I'll take it for a run and just finish off the tune. But considering that, we'll dial. It's still 13.3 to 13.5. It's just gone up to 13.6 and 13.7. So yeah, it's still in the mid 13s. So I'm really happy with that. Probably can't hear much out of that, but it's nice and quiet. Nearly done. Yes, I've had a haircut since the Triumph was in. That was probably about the best part of 6 weeks ago. I've been doing a whole lot of filming on, well, Minis and other various cars in the meantime. So I've got heaps of footage out. Sorry, I've got heaps of footage recorded. I'm still yet to get all of this, all the footage out. Been building engines and blah blah blah, all in the meantime. Now I did get a chance to talk to the customer. I didn't get him on camera. He was in too much of a, well, I wouldn't say he was in too much of a hurry to get going, but sometimes it's inconvenient for a customer to hop in their car, go for a drive around the block and then come back and go on camera. Sometimes the customers don't want to go on camera. Absolutely fine, got no problem with that. But anyway, with the wideband sensor on the tailpipe under full acceleration, I had 13.2 AFR, which was absolutely fantastic. I was really happy with that. That's after I'd replaced the universal in the back on the left hand axle half shaft, just the outer one. So anyway, I realise I'm saying a lot, so I won't apologise for that. The customer did take it down to Timaru, which is 144 k's
south from Christchurch. He said it was nice and smooth on the open road. It was also nice and smooth whilst overtaking, under power, all that lovely stuff. So he was really well impressed. Now, bearing in mind that it does have a bit of a restriction, being that airbox, and that's how I'd tuned it. So I'd corrected the mixture to compensate for the restriction, so trying to get it as clean as possible, as you'd seen. The Triumph still managed to get, and bearing in mind it's also an automatic, 3-speed Borg Warner, yeah. It still managed to get 33 or 34 miles to the gallon on the open road, so not too bad for a 2.5 of that caliber, considering that it was restricted and it had the automatic behind it as well. So yeah, he was still happy. I'm still waiting for a hot day run. I'm still waiting for them to do a hot day run, see if that fault comes back of stalling when it gets really hot. But I suspect that it's just because of the fuel. As the manifold heats up and everything else, it was just going into the danger zone when it was, before it was tuned. So anyway, that's enough of this one. I'll tie this video up. I've got plenty of other cars to get, plenty of other footage to get out there. So in the meantime, look out for this one. If you've missed it, go back and have a look at my fuel economy from my 1275 GT that I've been doing, which started off with a fuel economy reading. The original reading was 28.7 miles to the gallon. And I have vastly improved that. So go and have a look at that if you're interested. It's a lot of me, again, like this, waffling on. It's a wee bit of a technical talk. No real tuning work or anything like that. It's just in case you're interested in knowing a little bit more about how to get more fuel efficiency out of your car. Anyway, again, I'll leave it right here. If you've liked this video and you want to see more, please like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you all in the next one.